Hello and welcome to our Salesforce United episode, a podcast about Salesforce and people who work with it. Here we discuss engineering discoveries, professional secrets, and careers of our guests. I'm 𝐒𝐚𝐥𝐞𝐬𝐿, a Salesforce software testing engineer, and to my delight, your host.
Hello, my name is Elena Ulyanova. I'm a Salesforce enthusiast and for my pleasure, the host of this Salesforce United podcast.
In anticipation of 2025, which will be no doubt technologically fascinating and innovative as well, we decided it was high time to address a topic that has captured the interest of many, if not all. We won't keep you waiting. Today's episode is devoted to artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has been around us for several decades, but today this topic is in the center of attention like never before, as now we incorporate it not only in scientific, professional, but also in everyday life. And perhaps one day it may completely replace humans. Our colleague Artyom Sushenya, a seasoned professional engineering manager in the IT sector and Salesforce in particular, with a decade of experience, kindly agreed to help us to explore the benefits, challenges, and limitations of the artificial intelligence. Artyom, welcome aboard. Let's get started.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you, Elena, for inviting me to this podcast. I'm glad to be here. So let me just briefly introduce myself. My name is Artyom. I'm engineer and manager. My role is quite dynamic, involving everything from Salesforce development to conducting technical interviews and assessments. I'm also deeply intrigued by world of AI. Probably that because I'm here.
Artyom, thanks for introduction. It's a real pleasure to have you here as a guest on our podcast. And now, so let's move to the artificial intelligence itself. And please tell us, how did you come up with using artificial intelligence in your development work?
Okay, so first of all, I believe what is the most inspiring me to use artificial intelligence is news about it. So I try to learn and investigate as much as I can. I listen a lot of podcasts, different as well, on YouTube. Each day we are getting more and more from this area. And when I'm seeing that, oh my God, now it's possible from AI perspective, from the curiosity, I just want to test it immediately. And for me, the first trigger for me, it's definitely some models and new possibilities. Also, after that, when I know something about models, about existing possibilities of AI, I'm trying to organize my workflow and daily routine tasks. So, for example, opportunity to save the time during, for example, code writing or code reviewing, this is amazing opportunity for me. Then also, the second one is a possibility to delegate some boring tasks. Also, to ask and generate some structure points and to do not just sit on blank space or blank page when I need to start doing something. It's a great starter for me. Also, I had one very interesting example where I always need to rebuild some piece of code which I wrote recently. I've just asked AI to rebuild it in some proper way. I'll just add a bit more technical details. It was just data update script, Apex script, and I've built it in not in a perfect way, just to do one-time update. And right after that, I always need to do exactly the same, but with a different object. And it was a quite complex script, and I didn't want to rebuild it in my own, because it's quite time consuming. And I've just realized that, okay, I can ask GPT to do it for me. And when this task has been accomplished successfully, I've started to trust to this tool more.
Thank you, Artyom. Nice to meet you. Let's proceed with the topic on artificial intelligence in, for example, Salesforce project. Imagine you have an opportunity to use artificial intelligence on a real project. What technologies would you use?
I believe that first of all, what I would need to do is project indexation. Probably all of you should know that project is just a set of some documents or web pages in Jira, in Confluence, in a lot of systems. And for me, this will be the priority number one, to try to index and try to put all this context, all this useful for AI and also for human context into the model. And what is the benefits of it? Once it's been uploaded to the model, it's also possible to receive some quick answers, for example, for people who are very new on the project. And it will be a great onboarding body for those people. Just because we have this full context, our model will generate more accurate answers to each question. So for me, it will be, as I said before, priority number one, to prepare the right context for the project and to gather all existing documentation. And the second one maybe is to set up assistants. Maybe just a few words about assistant and what does it mean. The assistant is just it's chat with properly adjusted system instructions. So let's assume that we can create several assistants for each project role. I can create assistant for developer, for business analyst, for tester, and definitely that all those assistants should be tailored with different instructions. For example, from developer, I definitely could expect some output in code form, let's say in Apex or in JavaScript. But from business analyst, I would expect some user story in a really different format. And to speed up development, to speed up some, again, routine tasks, I would set up all those system instructions and create some useful agents.
Okay, Artyom, thank you very much. And could we be more precise? You have already mentioned that you use ChatGPT, but actually there are plenty of artificial intelligence tools. And what tools do you use in your work?
Yeah, this is an amazing question. I would say the most correct and accurate answer to this question will be the curiosity, once again, because each day we have more and more tools. For now, this is one set of tools, and in one day, in 1 week, or in months, it could be the fully different set of tools. So I would suggest try to experiment with the new tools. Don't afraid it. Just do some tests and decide whether it's useful for you or not. Okay, speaking about myself, I have some internal tools, kind of aggregator that we can use with several models at the same time. So we have application which allow us to switch between models, like between OpenAI models or Anthropic models, and this choice is crucial for me, because for each separate task I can use different model. Also, I use GitHub Copilot to write code, because this is my daily basis task. Also, I would say that different vendors like, again, OpenAI or Anthropic provide their own mods for models. For example, OpenAI provide Canvas mod, which allows you to work on some piece of text in a little bit different manner than just writing some prompt and receiving some result. You can focus on one specific piece of text. It could be email or it could be some article, and you can ask model to adjust it using even some UI elements like slider or button. So I would also suggest to experiment with those new models. Also, Microsoft Copilot, I had the chance to try it as well, and I have even one success story. Kind of, I had the chance to ask this Microsoft Copilot to search through my emails, through all my emails at my inbox, and ask to generate for me to-do list. and it was accomplished successfully. And I could say that I've even realized that I've missed one important to do. I've missed to set up one meeting, and Copilot just helped me to find this meeting. So Microsoft Copilot, this Copilot built in some Microsoft products like Outlook, like Teams, like Word, so you probably know those products. Also, I had the chance to play with Agentforce for developers. Based on my feedback and based on the feedback from my colleagues, I would say that it's much useful as for now, so it's more or less fine to Apex. But when we are talking about LWC and when we are talking about some configurations to LWC, when we are creating config files in XML format, it's not quite useful. And also I would say that it looks like a little bit outdated framework version, because when I ask to generate something, it uses some old style directives. For me, it's not very useful for now, but I hope that Salesforce will increase the productivity for this tool, because for us as for developers, it's really crucial to have something inside Salesforce. And one more tool, it's operating system specific. The name of it's Apple Intelligence. I use Mac, and recently Apple released this feature for macOS and iOS users. What I can say about Apple Intelligence, it provides, by the way, very reduced number of functionality, because it works only with some text, and you can improve it a little bit in some predefined by Apple styles. Unfortunately, we cannot configure it. I also hope that it will be improved in future. But what I can say, AI integrated in operating system, it's quite comfortable to use, because you don't have to just copy something and put to different window or different application window or browser window. You can just do it directly from current window.
Thank you, Artyom. It's not longer time the artificial intelligence, mostly in form of different linguistic models, start working for people in real life, so in job aspects or in daily routine. From your perspective, what are some of the primary challenges you faced when using artificial intelligence? So it's quite new technology for us as users of this technology. So we should have some challenges. What primary challenges you personally faced?
Yeah, that's a great question. Okay, let me try to split in several parts. The first part is, I would say, a legal part, that we cannot send everything to LLM. And the main challenge here is, so we have some customer, and customer don't want to use LLM on the project. And due to this agreement, I cannot just use LLM. So this is the first challenge, when you cannot even try to use it. The second one, I heard one interesting example of project from my colleague, and this is the project of parsing some existing voice of conversation between service agent and client on Lithuanian language. Right now, we don't have properly trained LLM for some rare languages. For example, with English, most of LLMs works fine, but for some more not commonly used languages like Lithuanian, it's not working fine as for now. And as I understood, we can, in this case, what we can do, we can try to find some different models, not so popular models, maybe that can be trained or fine-tuned only for those languages. But in case with the Lithuanian language, they are in progress of recording some useful transcripts, and in 2026 they plan to release this project. They plan to release kind of model to work with Lithuanian language. Maybe the third one is the outputs and what we can expect from LLM, because right now, to work with LLM, it's better to be expert in some area. Let's imagine I'm a programmer, and for me, like a programmer, LLM could be very helpful because I know the expected result, and I can double check by my eye whether it's wrong or not. But let's assume I'm a programmer and I try to do tasks that's not related to my sphere and I don't understand for sure, and I cannot just prove the result. Here is a question, because for now we cannot trust to LLM for sure, so we still need some person who is at least understand the area, or in a better way it could be just some expert in this area. One more, I don't know whether it's challenge or not. I quite oftenly use GPT and LLMs for English, to translate something from my native language to English. And for me, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I can ask GPT to do it and makes my life easier. But also I can do it by myself. But it requires more time. And it means that I'm just stealing my skills from myself. It means that I can practice in writing some English text, but instead of that, I can just ask GPT, save time, and it can provide me the answer with sometimes with much higher quality than that I can produce. And this is the challenge for me to not use GPT everywhere where I can use, and instead of that, still use my brain.
And practice English.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so a lot of useful points have been mentioned, and I told the audience that you have a profound experience in Salesforce. And I would like to ask you, could you please share a specific Salesforce case study when artificial intelligence influenced significantly on the solution that was developed?
We had internal initiative, and due to this project, we had the chance to implement one very interesting project using some Salesforce AI internal capabilities. And what we've done, we've created application for managers who need to track performance of the agents. And we've created some user interface, and we've created some logic to understand the gaps of some particular agent. We've created the logic to analyze existing data in application, to analyze emails, to analyze voice and chat transcript, to get some useful tips for agents and for managers. And our goal was to improve the performance of those agents, and by giving them some useful advices how to handle some proper cases in a little bit better way. We've just used AI so much here to just understand what agents should do in a better way. And maybe one more where we had the chance to create a virtual team of agents. I mentioned assistants a bit earlier today, and what we've done during this project, we've had the chance to create team of assistant. It was business analyst, architect, developer, and QA assistant. And this virtual assistant team helped us to actually run the virtual project, and we've just proved that it's possible to not only to use GPT during your daily life, but also to create the chats that can help you to work with your daily routine. And those assistants already know about your context, about your project. They also provided some instructions, and they give you the exactly output what you're expecting. And more to that, those agents not only can generate some code, but those agents also can go to some external tool like GitHub, like Jira, like Confluence, and to create some or get some useful materials for you.
Very interesting experience in using artificial intelligence within the development process. But do you use artificial intelligence only in your work or in any other aspects of your life?
Mostly for work, to be honest. I'm trying to explore more and more, but okay, so what I've investigated is the film suggestion. So one colleague gave me the tip that it's possible. I've proved it, and to be honest, yeah, it works. So if you try to briefly describe your preferences about films and some context, for example, I need some movie for I need some movie to spend some cozy evening with my girlfriend, for example. Yeah, you will have the proper suggestions for that. You can just check it. Also, I use it for generating some feedbacks. It means that I just making some bullet points and ask GPT to just polish it and maybe fix some spelling mistakes or use different grammar constructions, but it's also kind of related to work. Yeah, as I said before, language assistant when I need to fix some or double check or translate some sentence. And I would say if I cannot find something with Google, I use Perplexity to do more advanced search during the web.
Okay, so artificial intelligence seems to be a very interesting technology, but let's think a little bit about the nearest future. How do you see it evolving in the nearest future, and what trends or upcoming innovations you are particularly excited about?
Maybe I'll start from the feature that recently was added to ChatGPT. This is the ability to search on web. Previously, we had only a model that have some knowledge before some date, but now if you ask GPT to search it on web, you will get the intended results. And this is why it's, for example, useful for me, because at Salesforce we have a lot of release notes during each release, and we cannot just rely on some data which is published to this LLM maybe 1 or 2 years ago. So for us it's too old data, but now I can ask GPT to find something from the latest release notes or from the latest documentation version. It's especially works good for LWC, so for me it's amazing. Okay, about evolving, I believe that and for me it will be amazing that in the future we will come up with some new ways of interacting with LLM, because for now we still have some, I would say, limited capabilities, and to, for example, speed up my work, I use, for example, dictation button to do not just type everything that I need, but ask by voice. So yeah, as a result, evolving with some new ways of interacting with LLM. Maybe it will be some useful or handy user experience and user interface elements. Just don't know here. This is my, I would say, dreams. Also, I would say that new models will come. As I know, the most interesting area for development now is text to video, to generate some clips or even movies by describing it just by text. So that also could be interesting. Also, I would say some different plugins for already existing applications, because now we have AI almost in all our applications, like in Notion, in Outlook, but sometimes we're still missing for some software the AI plugin. So I believe this gap will be covered soon, and I believe that as I said before, Apple and Microsoft should think about introducing more handy AI in operating system UI, because it's not so convenient to copy and paste. I would say it brings a lot of comfortability to operating systems. And maybe one more thing, it's accuracy of models, because sometimes now we can get some hallucinating content, and I believe that the priority should be for LLM providers to try to just, whether it's possible or not, but try to eliminate the incorrect response. So quality of models, I would say this will be the priority.
Thank you very much for your answer. Based on your developer experience and the experience in using some artificial intelligence tools and technologies, what skills do you think are essential for developers to effectively incorporate artificial intelligence into their solution?
As I said before, maybe fast typing could be beneficial because still we need to put a lot of system instructions to our models. And when you can fast type what you need on the keyboard, I believe it could definitely bring the benefit, at least at now, or otherwise you can use dictate button. One more skill is to understand how it's possible to transform the actual need to what LLM can consume and to understand the proper response. So this is the question of, again, creating fine-tuned system instructions and to prepare the data for LLM, because based on bad context or even without context, LLM cannot provide you the proper output. So this is one more skill of sometimes data analysis and sometimes just understand the requirements properly. One more skill, I would say, it's a curiosity for the newest model and ways of interacting, because our LLM providers is trying to come up with new models oftenly, and what you need is to just be aware of those new releases, and instead of using old version of models, we can try to use new version of models, because right now GPT 3.5 is I would say quite insufficient for some tasks. And instead of that, if you know about, or if you're aware about existing of GPT 4.0, you can try to use this instead of 3.5. And also I believe soft skills also could be beneficial here, because by using soft skills you can all the time discuss some new approaches with your colleagues and come up to some very interesting and useful ideas in future. And maybe one last skill is the desire to optimize your work, your daily workflow, because when you use AI first approach, I would say it could be beneficial for you, because right before the implementation of each task, you can think, okay, let's try to ask AI to help me with that, and if that works, you can just delegate this task each time instead of spending your own time.
Okay, so Artyom, thank you very much. It was a super useful talk for those who are already dealing with artificial intelligence and those who think to start. So many thanks to you.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. I was very glad to be here and to speak something, I would say, and I hope useful for someone. Then, yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and yeah, thank you.
And I would like to take a moment as well and to congratulate you on the arrival of Happy New 2025. May this year be filled with incredible discoveries and success, and our future episodes filled in with even more inspiration and insights. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys for the conversation, and thank you dear listeners for being with us. Warm wishes and frosty fun, friends. Let's make this holiday season the best one. And as always, we will be very happy to receive any comments, questions and ideas. And if you like the podcast, please rate it on the platform and share with friends. Till very soon, till the next interesting podcast in 2025. Stay tuned.